September is an absolutely wild month for cozy gamers, as not only did Nintendo just drop some of the biggest cozy gaming news ever with the announcement of not only a brand new Coffee Talk coming, but also the return of the classic My Sims games. And on top of that, there's also a ton of incredible cozy games coming to the Switch this September. So as always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all things new and cozy, and let's get into this. First up, we're going to start with the news, as just yesterday we had a brand new partner direct and indie showcase all in one. And even though this was only 40 minutes long, this was jam-packed with some incredible announcements. The first of which is the fact that we're getting a brand new Coffee Talk game called Coffee Talk Tokyo sometime in 2025. And as you can tell from the title, instead of being set in an alternative version of Seattle, it instead takes place in Tokyo. But although this has similar elements to the other Coffee Talk games, this won't be exactly the same and comes with a brand new twist. As once again, you're behind the counter of a small coffee shop, serving both humans and fantasy customers alike who come in search of a place to hang to escape the sweltering heat of the Tokyo summer. But although the game feels the same, the stories and the customers are brand new. For the most part. So far, we know that there's going to be 3 brand new customers, a new stencil mechanic for making coffees, and a new social media network called Tama.chill to learn more about each of the characters and their stories. But what we don't know is if there's anything more to this twisting gameplay that they've been hinting at. Either way, I'm really excited. For me, this might have been the biggest announcement in the entire showcase, and I can't wait till 2025 to get my hands on it. Next up, we have the announcement that My Sims Cozy Bundle will be coming to the Nintendo Switch November 19th, and I cannot believe it's coming so soon. Now, this bundle includes 2 games inside of it, which is My Sims and My Sims Kingdom. And if you're unfamiliar with the My Sims game, then this is essentially Sims and Animal Crossing meshed together. And this will see you rebuild the rundown town in an attempt to get more people to move there. One thing to note though, this is being called a retro re-release and not a remake, which I think you can see a little bit more clearer with the screenshots they have on the Nintendo website. But this might be a good thing to those of you who loved the originals, that they haven't really changed much. But either way, we don't have very long to wait to see what this is like. We also got the announcement that a brand new Rune Factory game, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, will be coming in spring 2025. Now, this announcement feels weird because I feel like we'll be getting a brand new Switch sometime next year, so I don't know how to feel about this. But this looks absolutely incredible, and they call this a reimagining of the Rune Factory franchise. And after watching this trailer, I can honestly see it. And it looks like the visuals are not the only thing that are getting a shake-up, with there being a brand new ability that uses the power of dance to fight, alongside brand new weapons, but also the chance to rebuild the village for yourself. And this won't just see you bringing in resources for quests and seeing the town gradually change over time, but you'll be able to have the chance to actually place the literal buildings and make the villages your own. And you'll also be tasked with reviving the gods to try and bring vitality back to the lands after a colossal object crashed into the world, causing the earth to shatter, leaving its people with absolutely nothing. And naturally, it's your job, having been bestowed with the power of the Earth Dancer, to save the world. I feel like it's so exciting to see the Rune Factory franchise move in this direction. I'm so unbelievably excited for this, and I love the idea of having a true RPG farming sim with a fantastic story and possibly even full cutscenes. We also got the announcement that Power Wash is getting a brand new Shrek DLC coming in October. There's not much to say about this other than why, but also I can't wait to get my hands on it. We also got told that Never, one of my personal most anticipated games of the year, is coming October 15th. Now, this is made by the same makers of Grizz, and this is going to be beautifully heartbreaking. Never follows the story of Alba, a young woman who, after a traumatic encounter with a dark force, winds up bound to an adorable wolf cub. and this will follow their journey through a once beautiful world that now decays around them. And over time, their relationship is tested as you see the wolf cub grow before your eyes and change into a fully grown wolf as each of them try and forge their own identities. But together they must do whatever it takes to survive and make a brand new home. I can't believe it's coming so soon, but I also can't wait to get my hands on it. Another game with a newly announced October release date is Europa, and this will see you explore Jupiter's moon filled with lakes, meadows and mountains, and with what remains of a fallen civilization. And as you explore, you'll be able to solve the mysteries of the ruins to find out what happened to this fallen utopia, and you get to learn the story all about the last human alive. That's it for all the cozy gaming news. Let's get on to all of the cozy games releasing in September. And all of the games I'm going to mention, other than the last two, will be coming out on the Nintendo Switch. First up is Fabledom, and this is coming to the Nintendo Switch on the 12th of September. Now, I've spent many hours playing this on PC, and although I'm excited to see this come to the Switch, I'm also a little bit nervous about how this is going to perform. But if you haven't heard of Fabledom before, this is a cozier take on a city builder, as this is set in a fantasy land. So alongside you building the foundations of a city, seeing you place anything from houses, roads, work facilities, farmlands, and even taverns and hospitals, there's also a little bit of fantasy magic, as you're able to send a hero to investigate all of the strange goings on in your realm, including things like talking trees, giant beanstalks, and so much more. And as your town grows in size, so does your facilities, allowing you to turn a few houses into a bustling city. But there's also a little bit of romance. You see, you're not the only leader in the realm, and you'll be able to talk and forge friendships with all the other leaders in order to get some resources and some help when you need it. But it doesn't just stop at friendship, as you can even romance the other leaders as well. I've lost a lot of time to this on the PC, and if this is a decent port, I can see myself losing a lot of time on the Switch as well. Then we have Loddlenaut, which is coming to the Nintendo Switch on September 19th, alongside a big update with even bigger Loddles. Now, I absolutely love this on my Steam Deck, as this is an ocean cleanup adventure that sees you pick up trash, explore the vibrant waters, and take care of these alien-like axolotl creatures named Loddles. This is truly a cozy game unlike anything I've played before, and I think it's right at home on the Nintendo Switch. Next up, we have Caravan SandWitch releasing on the 12th of September on the Nintendo Switch, and this is a narrative-driven exploration adventure based in a sci-fi world, as you're on the hunt for your missing sister. And with no combat, no death, and no timer, it's just you, your van, and a mystery to uncover. And this is set in a post-apocalyptic world, a world in which the humans destroyed and left after the planet's destruction. And as you explore, you get to meet not only the humans who stayed behind, but also the robots who were left. This is definitely a cozy game with a slightly different feel, but I'm excited to play this nonetheless. Then on the 17th of September, we have the Plucky Squire, and this is yet another one of my most anticipated cozy games of the year, releasing in September. This follows Jot and his friends, who are a bunch of storybook characters, as they discover the 3D world that awaits them from outside of the pages. The issue is they weren't the only one to leave the book, and so did the villain Hump Grump, who was able to flick to the end of the story, only to find out this was a battle he was destined to lose. So instead of accepting his fate, Hump Grump kicks Jot out of the book alongside his friends and decides to change their fate forever. So it's up to Jot to not only save his friends, but also restore the happy ending. And to do this, he's got to jump between the 2D and 3D world, giving you not only enemies to defeat in unique ways, but also fantastic puzzles to tackle as well. I love everything about this, from the art style to the story, and although I'm a little worried to see what this looks like on the Switch, I'm also very excited. Then on September 24th, we have Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Now, I was lucky enough last week to get a chance to play the PC version of this at Gamescom, and although I was on the fence at first at this being a game I'd enjoy, as 3D platformers aren't normally my thing, but I actually ended up vibing with not only the mechanics, but also the writing. This will follow Mickey through the wasteland, armed with nothing but paint and paint thinner, in order to shape the fate of this alternative world. And you can use this brush to either recolor items, like parts of a bridge in order to allow you to pass, or you can use the paint thinner to get rid of them. So like, for example, if there are things blocking your way, you can use the paint thinner to get rid of the floor so the rubble falls through, and color it back in so you can go past it. But not only can you use your brushes on inanimate objects, you can also use them to defeat enemies as well. From what I've seen so far, the puzzle solving aspect has a lot of promise, and there's a lot of hidden surprises in each of the levels. But not only am I concerned about the Switch's performance, I'm also a little bit concerned about the price tag, as it's currently set at £50, and I guess we'll have to see if this is truly worth it. Then we have The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom coming out September 26th. Now, I don't think I have to spend too long talking about this, as I know a lot of us are already excited, but honestly, I can't wait. As this is a Legend of Zelda game with a few differences, as not only can you play as Zelda, but you also don't do combat in a conventional way, as instead of holding a sword, you see Zelda hold a staff, allowing her to make these things called echoes, which are not only copies of inanimate objects, but also copies of enemies as well. And Zelda can call upon these echoes to either help her out in puzzle-like situations like scaling up cliffs or getting over gaps, or she can even use them to fight for her. And each monster she makes a copy of will have their own abilities that you can pick and choose. So although this looks a little bit similar to Link's Awakening, this has a much more sandbox-like approach to solving the puzzles, and I can't wait to see what this game does with it. And I guess we are only 1 month from finding out if this game got the Princess Peach treatment. Next up is Bloomtown, and this is coming out September 24th. And this is a narrative JRPG monster catching game. And although this may look cozy on the surface, this also has a dark twist in it. Now, this is set in the 1960s and follows Emily and her younger brother Chester, who set off to their grandpa's quiet town for the summer. But right when you start to settle down, you realize that things aren't quite right, because children begin to disappear all around you, and the nightmares are starting to feel a little too real. And soon you discover that there's a demon world that exists right under this quaint town. And naturally, as a child, it becomes your job to unravel this mystery and save the town. But this isn't something you can do alone, so you decide to tame the demons from the underside and use them in turn-based battle to help you on your way. This has impeccable Stranger Things vibes, and I'm so excited to play it. I just don't know when I'm going to have time for all of these games. Next is Core Keeper, coming out September 17th, and this is a mining sandbox adventure that can be played with up to 8 people. And thanks to Gamescom, I have already played this on the Nintendo Switch, and although it doesn't look quite as pretty as it does on PC or Steam Deck, it still plays really well. Now, much like Minecraft, there is combat in this, but it is just one aspect of the gameplay, as you can also mine relics and resources, build, craft, and even care for the animals you find. There's also a ton of beautiful biomes to explore, from anything from clay caves to crystal caverns, and you can even set sail across the seas to discover all of the secrets of the ancient world that you're uncovering. And as you go, you'll level up your skills, allowing you to explore even further. And you even have the ability to automate any of the processes. Like, for example, you can make production lines that you can place down to automate things such as mining. This is one of those games which is as cozy as you make it, as you get to choose what you do with your time. This is a game with a ton of content, especially for the price, so definitely worth giving a go if you like this sort of thing. Then on September 12th, we have Garden Witch Life. The demo for this was a lot of fun, so I'm excited to see what's in store for the full game. And in this, you play a witch from the big city, who decides to start a brand new life on a tiny island after losing her job. And this will see you cook delicious recipes using the crops you grew and cultivated by renovating the garden. And alongside you becoming a part of the community by befriending the villagers, you'll also have a little mystery to uncover as well, involving hidden passageways, ancient text, and also investigating the past. Fingers crossed this is a decent Switch port, as this could be a really fun little cozy game. The last 2 games on today's list aren't coming out on the Nintendo Switch yet, but I am so excited for them and I really wanted to mention them. First up, we have Chef RPG, which is coming in early access on September 12th. Now, I'm normally not the first one to go out and buy an early access game, but this has been a game on my radar for so long that I might have to check this out. In this, you play as a traveling chef who's been tasked to revive a once famous restaurant in the town of White Ash Harbor. And as you settle down and begin your brand new life, it's the decisions you make in your journey that will determine what kind of chef you will become. But in order to run the restaurant, you first need to gather the ingredients. And you can do this by fishing, hunting, foraging, or even farming. But to me, the thing I really love about this is whilst you can farm, it is just an aspect of the game and not the entire meat of the gameplay. I'm really interested to know what kind of state the early access is in and how much we can play, but this is a game with a lot of potential, and this will be coming to the Nintendo Switch when it does its final release. And to finish us off, we have the most wishlisted cozy game in existence, and this is Tiny Glade, which is releasing September 23rd. And I think it's pretty clear to see why this is the most wishlisted cozy game, as this looks absolutely stunning, and who doesn't want to be able to literally doodle a castle? I'm someone who's decorationally challenged, and I think I could make something that looks half decent in Tiny Glade even with my eyes closed. They've really made this design mechanic so user-friendly, as it just seems so intuitive and so easy. But I think to me the thing I enjoy the most about Tiny Glade isn't necessarily the decorating, but it's more the destruction, as you'll be able to turn your beautiful castle into even more beautiful ruins just by the touch of a button. And of course, don't worry, there's also a photo mode that makes your builds look even more stunning as well. That's it for my cozy gaming news and upcoming cozy games for September. Let me know which games you're going to pick up in the comments down below. And if you're looking for even more cozy games to wishlist, then click this video here.